Now let's learn how we can design research questions with the help of AI. So designing AI-powered research questions are important. And as we did in the previous session, research questions are fundamental to any research we are going to conduct. Either it is a systematic literature review or empirical research. In any case, we have to develop a very impactful or intriguing research question which can help you to attract the attention of the audience. For this reason, we will be working on developing research question with the help of AI. And in this process, we'll be using general AI tool like Gemini is one of the best option. We can use Microsoft CoPilot. We can use ChatGPT, DeepSeek, or Cloud. Any of these applications are really helpful for developing any AI-powered research question because they can process a huge amount of information. But the decision of these tools, which one is best, because I have received these questions many times, which one is the best tool for working with the AI? Now, the choice depends on many factors. It's not a very simple and straight answers for me. But let's consider, for example, if your organization is using Microsoft email system or Microsoft-based organization, and you have your email IDs open in Office 365 or any of these type of application, then in that case, Copilot is one of the best options for you. And if your organization or you have a paid version or enterprise version of Google, in that case, if your organization is using Google-based system, then Gemini is one of the best option for you because comes with many different application which we'll be using in this course as well. And other than that, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Cloud also, they are very powerful AI tools, and we can use them to work for developing a research question. But remember, the most important part here is we are using these AI tools just for information processing and collecting some insight from the available information over the internet. We need to use those tools which can access the live data or which can scrap data from the website. That's why Copilot and Gemini advanced versions are a better option in this case. If you have ChatGPT advanced version, then it is also a really good option. And similarly for DeepSeek and other AI tools. Now, this process will follow in two stages. The first stage will be for formulating and refining research question, and that will help us to identify a very intriguing research question. At the same time, it will help us to increase this precision in terms of creating these research questions. This is stage one. And once we will develop stage one research question, further we will use PICO framework for analyzing and understanding the accuracy and precision of our research question. And these are two stages we'll be working to develop research question, and that is the module 1 of your course. Now let's think about the stage 1 where we are trying to formulate a research question from a very broader understanding. So the first step would be thinking about your area of interest, the area of research, the idea. Maybe it is not a very defined or refined idea. It is just an area of interest, and we can start from there. In this case, most probably you can ask questions like this. I want to study how AI affects decision making in companies. That is just for use of AI in decision making for companies. That's very simple, general understanding. It is not a developed research question. So we can start at initial stage 1. And in stage 1, this is the step 1 where we will start with the very broader idea. Think about your area of interest and the area of research where you want to conduct your research, and write about that idea. Take that idea and use any AI tool. We can use Gemini and Copilot, and I will give you examples with the ChatGPT and all these AI tools. I will show you how you can use these different tools and what are the key differences in the results of each of these tools. So I will show you once we will learn all these steps. So what I'm going to do is I will take that idea and ask AI, generate 5 research questions, or maybe you can change it to generate a few questions or many questions. It's up to you. But I'm using this for generating 5 research questions about how AI affects decision making in companies. Consider different industries, sectors, types of AI application, and specific organizational outcomes. I'm giving some context to this question, talking about all the sectors or different AI application. That will help me to generate a very specific research question rather than generating a very general research question. That would be my first interaction with the AI tool at stage 2 or stage 1 and step 2, where I'll be asking AI to generate questions. Once I have those questions, obviously AI will give me a few options and I can select any of these options. Once our option is being selected, the next step would be refining that AI generated research question. Refine the following. Again, I'll be using generative AI to respond and refine to the question which I have selected from the given option. So I can use the prompts like this: define the following research question for precision and clarity in the business context. If you have a different context, you can write it, for example, in the education, for example, in the medicine. So you can talk about those areas very specifically. And then this is my research question. This is just an example. We'll talk about these in practice as well. And I will show you a complete research question guideline as well. So the question is, does AI improve decision making, suggest more specific wording, and identify any ambiguities? That's very important. You can just ask AI to make it more precise, give it more clear and precise and accurate answer. Okay. So we need precision and clarity with those, and also conciseness. Once you have identified these options, AI will give you a further explanation and will give you final improved research question. Then we need to check whether the research question we have identified have any novelty or it is addressing any research gaps or not. Based on this, you can use this prompt to further identify the novelty and gaps in your research. Based on this research question, the research question which you have already explored, type that research question, and then whether some common research gaps and less explored area related to AI. Then I'm talking about that research question, impact of business decision, particularly concerning about specific industries, or if you are looking at specific AI types. I have given the context, I have given the prompt, and then in that case, I can address about some of the gaps and some novelties. Once I identified, it will help me to include those gaps and those novelty areas in my research question, and then I can review and refine my research question. That can be done through some tools, for example, some databases. I can look at Google Scholar, Scopus, Web of Sciences, or I can have my own intelligence in it, and I can always review the research question. Sometimes we develop research question, and based on the systematic literature review, we need a reasonable number of research articles. If I identified a research question and that is too narrow, and I'm trying to explore the idea in any database, whether the already existing research is having enough research articles or data sets which I can use to progress in my research or complete my research. In that case, sometime the AI will make it so much narrow that not enough work has been done in the past. And that is why we want to keep it to the level where we can use this research question and we can always find out a few research articles on this. How many research articles and how we can identify that, I will show you that based on some databases. I'll be using Scopus and Web of Sciences database, which are mostly used databases in research. So in all field of research, in that case, I can help you to understand. In that case, it will help you to determine whether the research question is doable or not. You have to review and you have to improve the research question for the depth and width of the research area. We don't want to work on an area which is too narrow, and we don't want to work on an area which is too broader. In both cases, our work will not be acceptable for high quality research journals. And finally, once you identified, we have done with the research question and we formally identified and written our research question, the final step would be you have to generate keywords from the research question, which is very important in terms of literature search and working with the systematic literature review. That is very important step. So in this step, you need to generate a list of keywords. So you can use this prompt, generate a list of keywords and their synonyms for the following research question, and then you input your research question and you will get a few keywords, and then we will try to use these keywords on Scopus and Web of Sciences database. So these are 6 important steps in phase 1 where you will develop and refine your research question. So starting from a very broader concept, initial brainstorming, Then you will use AI to generate a few options. Then you will pick one option and make it more clear and use AI for more precision and accuracy in terms of your results in research question. And then you need to identify whether your research question is addressing any gaps and it have enough novelty. But at the same time, you need to understand sometime if we focus on gaps and novelty, it means that not enough literature is available in body of knowledge. We are unable to find a good number or reasonable number of research articles to conduct a systematic literature review. We need to be careful and review our research question here. Once we finalize our research question, the next step is to generate keywords and use those keywords for literature search, okay, which is our module 2. But we can create a list of keywords here, and then we will see how we can use these keywords in future literature search. So these are the 6 steps which we are going to follow. And I think just keep these 6 steps in your mind. And in next step, I'm going to show you how you can use these 6 steps in practice.